What's up, guys? It's Jake and Jason from Memphis Seekers of Paranormal, and today we're going to be starting a series that we like to call the Haunted Recap, where we recount our personal experiences from past investigation. A little bit of insight into what we do and how we feel about different locations. A lot of times that are unanswered by the end of the video that you might be curious about.
Today we're going to be talking about the ELDRED house, a recent investigation that we did in ELDRED, Illinois.
ELDRED, Illinois was a very cool and distinct location for us. Kind of like the Sally house. Sally house was in an awesome location. We live in, you know us, we live in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, he lives just south of Memphis, but lots of cornfields and farmlands and lots of open areas, but ELDRED, Illinois is in the middle of absolute nowhere. The ELDRED house was built in 1861. It's built out of limestone rock from the surrounding area, which is crazy in itself. I mean, the whole place is limestone, which if you've ever done any research on paranormal versus the limestone. Limestone is a very active rock with electromagnetism, which works with the Earth's magnetic fields to give you some really active locations.
Science.
True.
So the three daughters that passed away on the property were Alma at age 4. She actually died the first year the house was built in 1861, but there's no cause documented for her. The other two daughters, Alice and Eva, both passed away at 17, both from tuberculosis. Not at the exact same time, but that was still pretty strange. So all three of John Eldred's daughters died on that property.
I was very surprised at how modern these names were for the 1860s, 1870s.
Yeah, we were expecting something like Little Barbara.
Yeah. And Alice reminds me of Resident Evil. That's the first thought I had, for real, when we were in there, Resident Evil.
Which is kind of what it felt like walking into that house.
Walking into the ELDRED house, the original vibe that I got when I got there, I was just super excited. It's one of the most interesting houses that we've ever gone into.
Just the structure base?
The structure base, just the way it was portrayed on the outside. It was a mansion, like a limestone mansion.
Like it was nice.
Yeah, with remnants of structures of the house that used to be there, a basement and an attic. I mean, it was just exciting as a paranormal investigator. It was super exciting to get to think about a whole 4-floor mansion just sitting out in the middle of Nowheresville with a haunted history, and you got free reign. And to our knowledge, I mean, the only people who have, there might have been other people that have investigated, but as far as the guide that we had, he hadn't had anybody in a long time, and the people he did have was Twin Paranormal a month before us. So we were hoping that this place is relatively untouched. They haven't gotten too far with the
renovations.
Of
course, a lot of the walls, it's like, they done tore all the drywall off of it, so it's all slats and rocks and stuff like that. Now, as far as the basement, though, like, I really wanted to spend more time there, but it seemed like we ran into just a kind of a varmint pit.
We did go to the basement briefly.
This is a beast. That's a bat.
That's a bat.
Damn it. Where did it go?
But yeah, but back to the feeling. I had no negative feelings, no feelings of dread or anything. It was like walking into a museum for me, and it was exciting to be able to have that kind of free roam experience in a place like that 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 a lot of people will never get to do.
Well, for me, it was a little different, though. I mean, it's like walking into a place. You can kind of feel its history. You can feel just a heavy nature on your chest. And they got all these photos on the walls of all the people that used to live there. So you're literally staring face to face with a piece of the past. So that in itself it will get in your head a little bit. So you'll kind of feel a little deeper than what's actually there at the moment. But I mean, as far as the general vibe, yeah, you could kind of tell it was haunted just walking in during the daytime. So we were just waiting on things to pop off at that point.
So one of the other questions we get is what are the claims, the prior claims of evidence at the property? Orbs, audible EVPs, physical manifestations, shadows.
They said it was also all like a peaceful nature.
Yeah.
So as far as other claims, we had, heard that sometimes rocks will be thrown, things of that nature. But we were actually able to debunk a majority of, some of the noises and the things that were occurring. A lot of the floors are very weak; they creak. And on the walls, there was small patches of drywall still in the slats. And every now and then, as you walk and shift the house, it'll actually free up one of those rocks, and they will fall. And they're loud; they echo throughout the house. So I mean, it is a little unnerving when you don't know where it's coming from. But we were able to find that.
On that same note, though, after you sit in a certain spot and there's no movement in the house, all the windows are intact in this house. There might be a few gaps in the roof or the flooring, but as far as the walls and stuff, most of them are intact. So we didn't encounter a bunch of wind or drafts in the place. But we sat long enough, and we had, even when we were out of the house at the one point, with the ball.
Oh, the ball roll.
Well, like right after the ball roll, there was just, stuff dropping. It seemed like it was dropping from the ceiling, but
It sounded like a ball scratch. Yeah, it was like my face level, dude. Oh. What's it? I was gonna put this in there.
it seemed like it was dropping from the ceiling. But it was focused on the balls that we had set up. It was just weird. We had two different small size balls in the room, and they were just getting pelted with concrete or rocks or whatever it was. It was interesting to me going through and editing and seeing that was something that we didn't encounter during our time there.
Well, another thing we thought we caught was like scratching on the walls. Kenny kept hearing it. We didn't hear it. But rolling back through a lot of that footage, and I'm not even sure if we had one go into the final cut, but there was a bat in the house with us. So there's your noise.
Yep. We had an XLS going, which we'll try to involve in some of our future investigations. It was our first time out with it, and I got to review the footage, but as far as as far as putting it onto my computer and making everything work, it just didn't work for the Final Cut. But reviewing the footage on the XLS, there was an actual bat that flew from room to room almost silently. Nobody knew it was there.
We never saw it.
Yep. And you only heard it when it landed or took off. So there's that. And then there was the bat in the basement.
Those were the big ones.
Yeah.
That seemed like 10 bats. Like that was an army of bats. Jake got rabies now.
That was one bat that was pissed off. We nicknamed him Duke Nukem.
What question are we on?
5. What equipment or experience led to that proof or debunk?
We could talk about the anomalies that we were catching while we were in the attic looking down over room to room.
Yeah, but
Because, I mean, that was pretty cool.
did we debunk anything with that, or did we?
Well, it's kind of a proof of the presence. Because there was no EMF in that place. The power's out.
Yeah.
You know, there was, just a strange, like, path to it.
Yeah, the EMF rope was strange to say the least on that second floor, accompanied with the yes/no device, and then we also had the Oculus say some pretty crazy stuff that we don't normally get out of it.
What did that say?
I couldn't tell. It was 2 syllables on the Oculus.
Can you come in here and talk through Jake? I swear. I said yes. When we went to the attic, though, there was some pretty cool anomalies that happened. We had lined up the entire, I guess, what would be considered the second floor with equipment like throughout every room, including the, what is that called? The EMF rope was throughout the hallway. Well, as we're in the attic, you could see down, to the second floor.
Oh,
Jake,
dude,
you're watching
this
the
is-
meters.
So this is right where the stairs are,
Right.
down there. Oh, I just caught the rim rope.
So, are you up here with us? Are you one of the children?
Dude, it just went green. Did we run you back downstairs? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Dude, something is moving around down there. Jake was like, "What is going on here?" And I walk over there and I see pretty much everything is lighting up, but it seems like it's in a path of this room to that room, back over here. Based on the Estes method that we had done, and now we're in the attic, led us to believe that we were possibly dealing with one of the children, which makes sense. I mean, children run the halls. They're not necessarily focused on us. They may not even know we're there. We may just be, getting residual energies or a past playback of one of their favorite days in the house, or traumatic days, or however that energy was absorbed into the house. This is not an airplane mode. I just want y'all to see that since I got my phone here. That's how close you have to be.
Worker? Oh, now you done screwed up. Got my house haunted.
Okay. Did we experience anything terrifying, or at a minimum, a little scary? That's the next one. So number one, the entire house is a creep fest. There was no light. There's no street lights out there. The place is dark.
It's a little nerve-wracking to be in a room by yourself in a place that you hear all these haunted claims and stuff like that. I think as far as us having, terrifying moments, nothing for us compares to Kenny's moment when he heard that scratch on the wall and took off running like a friggin' linebacker.
I'm gonna set it up here.
Oh,
What?
I just heard something.
What?
Right when I got up on that doorway.
What does it sound like?
Something scuffled on the wall or something.
Where was that?
I don't know. Right when I got here. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Whew. Trying to breathe.
But saying that, as a paranormal investigator, you kind of have to block that out. So trying to think back, I mean, yes, there was some scary events that happened, but your number one focus is trying to figure out where and what happened. And so you have to set the scary voice inside of your head that tells you to we don't get scared. We don't get scared. Do we believe the location to be actually haunted?
We'll always love you.
Turn this thing off. Oh my
The REM
God.
pod's on the back.
I'm just trying to turn the whole thing off.
Yeah,
I
so
just wanted to go off.
that's just for the EMF meter, but that's for the REM pod.
Okay. Jason's house is haunted.
All right, what was the question?
BB.
Do we believe that location to be haunted?
And I want to give credit. A lot of these questions came from, we put out a post. A lot of them came from Miss Jackie, which we appreciate that very much. Do we believe the location to be actually haunted as far as the ELDRED house in this episode?
I would say, yeah, absolutely. There's some energy there. Is it intelligent? I don't think so. I don't recall getting anything that seemed like a direct response to anything we were even doing or saying. So residual energy, yes, definitely present.
Well, if you take in the Estes, which I thought was slightly intelligent, and the obelisk response with the name of one of the children.
Oh, Alice.
Yes, Alice.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we did have some intelligent responses, which is weird because as we moved through the house, more and more things were occurring around certain questioning, focused around the children. We didn't get too carried away. We didn't focus on demonic presences or deaths that weren't documented in the house or things. We stuck with the children narrative, and eventually we started getting more and more results based on the children, specifically Alice. Alice seemed to be a more prevalent presence in the house, whether intelligent or residual. Fuck with that.
I don't know.
We need to build a studio.
Yeah,
We need to get
a
out of
nice
this house
soundproof one.
and see how he sleeps here. Next question would we be inclined to return to this location? I think that's a most definitely we would love to go back to the Eldred house.
When it's cooler, for sure.
Yeah.
Because there is no electricity and there is no AC, and I'm fat, so.
If you are a paranormal investigator or you're thinking about doing investigations, one thing that you don't think about, that you don't see many videos about, is the time of year. And in the winter, in the colder months, you will have more animals and rodents that enter the house to get warm and get away from the elements. So you always need to keep that in perspective. Would we recommend others to visit this location?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
it's a good location to go. I mean, like he said earlier, I think Twin Paranormal and Memphis Seekers are pretty much the only team to go in there. So I mean, let's get the more we can and capture the most evidence we can and kind of compare and contrast and see what's actually there. We've proven that there is something there, so let's get more evidence of that and see what we can find.
And it is owned by the city council or in Eldred, Illinois, and all the proceeds from the investigations, like many locations, go to the restoration of the house. Plus, we'd love to see what y'all catch. Everybody's got their own way of investigating. We've learned that. That's one of the number one things we've learned in the last year with all our collaborations is that there's more than one way to do this. We don't necessarily do it any more right than anybody else. So it's really cool to see other people and the way they tackle the environments that we're in. I had one from Eddie from Paranormal 54 for Jason. It is if I were a female, would you consider taking me on a date?
Jesus Christ, Eddie. No, I wouldn't.
I totally made that up.
All right, so that's been our haunted recap for the Eldred house. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely think about checking out the Eldred house investigation video.
Should be up here.
Right there. And if you like it and really enjoy what we do, we have memberships. There are 3 tiers now. We really put some time and thought into the perks that went into those, and the lowest tier is only $3. And there's a lot of perks packed into that package, so definitely check it out.
Would also like to give a big shout out to our members who have joined. We have June Howie, Giddy Jensen, Tina George, and of course Wreaking Havoc.
Which is our oldest member, by the way.
Yes, and we appreciate all 4 of you, and we appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you like the extra behind the scenes content that we drop. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. I hope it wasn't too boring. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Check out some of our other content. Check out some of our previous investigations and videos if you're new here. And we'll see you next time.
Do you know how to do the floss? Speed it up. Speed it up. Speed it up. I can't do it.
I'm doing it.
He's doing it. Doing a thing.